It's a rerun of election night. The Conservative candidate, Jerry Malone, the former health minister, successfully challenged the result in court after 50 ballot papers were found to be bogus. Well, will he snatch victory from the jaws of May's defeat tonight? Will the Liberal Democrat, Mark Oaten, walk back into Westminster? Michael Crick is in Winchester. What's your hunch, Michael?
Well, at the moment, it's certainly looking like the Liberal Democrats are heading for a pretty resounding victory here. Normally on nights like this, when the Lib Dems are going to win a by-election, they're pretty cautious, their officials, and they sort of say, well, it's neck and neck, and don't want to predict anything, whereas tonight they're pretty confident about things. And a senior person in the Labour camp is talking about a majority for the Lib Dems of 7,000 or 8,000. Now, I've been round the polling stations this afternoon, and I think actually it could be even more than that. I'm probably the only person in all that thinks so, but I think perhaps it could be talking about it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's as much as 2 to 1. People coming out of the polling stations, there were quite a few people who were saying they were switching from Jerry Malone to Mark Oaten. Very few people going the other way. So
tell me, you think that perhaps now William Hague tonight might just be biting his lip and saying perhaps Jerry Malone should not have contested this?
Sorry, I couldn't hear your question there, but I think that the three crucial points here about the Jerry Malone vote are that first of all, there's a significant switch away from Jerry Malone towards the Lib Dems. Secondly, I think we'll see almost a total collapse in the Labour vote tonight. They only got 10% in May. I think they'll be lucky to get to win their deposit this time, which would require 5%. And thirdly, I think there's a significant abstention amongst those voters who think that Jerry Malone's a bad loser, that he shouldn't have taken this court case, and therefore that they'll stay at home and not vote for him.
And what do you think William Hague's attitude to that will be tonight?
Sorry, I can't hear the question, sorry.
Michael, just one final question. When you're talking about the fact that it might be a landslide for the Liberal Democrats, what do you think William Hague will make of the rerun?
No, I'm sorry, I can't hear the question. I'm sorry, Kirsty.
Michael, okay, I won't push this any further. Thank you very much indeed. But now we can go over to Carole Walker in Beckenham, who I hope can hear me. Carole, is it looking like a shoo-in for the Conservatives?
Well, it's interesting. Certainly a couple of days ago, activists here were pretty confident that the Conservatives were going to hang on to this very comfortably. Tonight they're saying that it's going to be very close indeed. We've had the Labour Party had some 20 MPs out and about today, making sure their voters got out and went to the polling stations. Labour Party are dismissing a report in the London Evening Standard pointing to a sensational Labour victory. But certainly I think things could be an awful lot closer than we expected a couple of days ago.
Do you think there's anything to do with general Conservative disaffection by the simple way that this by-election came about, i.e. sleaze?
That's right, and if you go around the streets here in Beckenham, it's easy to find people who've always been Conservative voters who are really angry at the whole Piers Merchant affair, at the way that he held on and insisted on standing in this constituency at the general election, only to then have to stand down a few months later, and that's undoubtedly going to be an important factor here.
Carole Walker, thanks very much indeed. After 3 weeks of sabre-rattling, threat and...
...declaration, Kirsty, it's going to be 3 or 4 hours yet. This is a large constituency, 250 square miles. They've got to bring ballot boxes in from 76 different polling stations. And, of course, this time they're going through it very, very carefully, meticulously, to make sure that none of the mistakes happen that happened last time. But I don't think they need to worry, really, about recounts between the two leading parties. I think the assumption here is that the Liberal Democrats are going to have a pretty handsome win. Labour's mentioned 7,000 or 8,000. I think it could be even higher than that. So it looks like a win for Paddy Ashdown here.
Michael Crick, thanks very much indeed. And just a quick look at tomorrow morning's front pages. Picking up the Guardian straight away, that story, Labour's secret benefits plan, supposedly to cut